Secretary DeVos, we only have a couple more minutes left, and I want to ask you, I could spend another hour with you. Is the president just came out and said he wants kids to learn about American exceptionalism. I don't believe in the federal government telling people what to do in their own local communities. On the other hand, what's being taught is poison to the republic. Can you withhold funding from schools that are teaching things like the 16? I'm just using this as an example. The 1619 Project.
Well, that is a very valid question, and one I think, frankly, that our members of Congress need to wrestle with. And they have the power of the purse. We are certainly, from an administration standpoint, looking at ways that we can help encourage in major ways the schools and states doing the right thing. But the reality is that Congress has abdicated their responsibility in many ways, and they have continued to do so, and they continue to do so by protecting a system that has brought about much of the trouble that we have evident in our cities and across the country today. Again, I go back to the fact that today, more than ever, we know that the K-12 system has been broken for many years. That is being exposed ever so broadly now. And now is the time to make a change and to empower families and empower parents with the opportunity to choose where their children go to school, to match their family's values, to find those places where they will teach about American history and civics and exceptionalism, and to create new opportunities where those that are existing refuse to change and refuse to acknowledge the harm that's been done.
So there's a couple of things that, and I don't even know, do we have 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left? California's AB 5 bill makes it harder for contract workers. They're getting rid of Uber and Lyft and everything else, but this is for teachers too.
Exactly. I mean, and now when families are left with schools not opening and they're finding creative solutions, those families with the economic means to do so are finding creative solutions with homeschooling and tutors and forming these pods or micro schools.
But those
comes out with a law that basically doesn't allow creative teachers and entrepreneurial teachers to do their thing, and it's just a travesty.
People are being trapped. They're being trapped in cities by Democrats that won't defend, that won't send the police in. They're being trapped if you live in California. Even though if you bring your kid to a private school, a judge just blocked funding from the CARES Act to go to private school. I know you can't talk about an ongoing case, but what should people do?
Well, this is a point at which parents have to continue to raise their voices, and I think especially with their members of Congress. And we have elections coming up in a couple of months. Pay attention to the issues here, and make sure you are doing what's right for your child, and insisting that their futures have to be considered here, and that your desires for their futures have to be considered. And frankly, in all of this, I'm most concerned about the most vulnerable kids, those whose parents don't have the economic means to do something different when their school is not addressing the needs. And so it all comes back to empowering families with those resources to go and find the right fit for their child's education.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Thank you so much for spending the time with us tonight, Secretary Betsy DeVos, Secretary of Education.
Thanks so much, Glenn.
You bet. Thank you. More on the radio on this subject tomorrow. Also, all the documents at glennbeck.com. Good night.